Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Sonia and I'm really glad you're here. You know, when planning a holiday afternoon tea, I think it's a lot of fun to take full-sized menu items and shrink them to bite size. One of my absolute favorite items for the holidays is sweet potato pie. Not to be confused with pumpkin pie, which is probably the better known of the two. They look almost identical, but the flavor is very different. And if you want something a little different on your menu, making it into mini tarts creates a wonderful and unique addition to your sweets tray at afternoon tea. You want to first preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius, or gas mark 4. Then, in a large bowl, you'll need 2½ cups of already baked or boiled sweet potatoes. Now, you can do this yourself, bake and peel your own sweet potatoes, or buy them canned like I did, then drain and puree them. It'll just take a minute. Next, you'll need 1/4 cup of melted butter. I'm using unsalted, 2 eggs, large, 1 cup of granulated sugar, just a little pinch of salt, and my grandmother's secret ingredient, because this is her recipe, 1/2 teaspoon of orange extract. Now, if you don't have that, a tablespoon of grated orange rind will work. You can use a hand mixer to blend this all together, but it's so easy, I just use a fork, mixing in one ingredient at a time to make sure it's thoroughly incorporated. The melted butter goes in first and gets mixed in well. Followed by the eggs, which I have well beaten. Get that mixed in. Then the sugar. Just a little pinch of salt. And finally, the orange extract. And that's it. Now, there are a number of sweet potato pie recipes that call for nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, all those spices and things you'll find in a recipe for pumpkin pie. But this is sweet potato, and I think it deserves its own unique flavor and not all that other stuff to hide it or try to make it too much like another version of pumpkin. Now, once everything is mixed in, you'll have a very loose filling. So just set that aside. And we'll make the tart casings. I'm using a mini tart pan that's non-stick. These little wells are 2 inches across, so I'm using this pretty fluted cookie cutter that's 2½ inches across to create enough pie crust on the sides when I push it down in there. And while you can use your own recipe for pie dough, I find store-bought works just fine for these little bites. I took this out of the refrigerator while making the filling so it would warm up a little and be easier to roll out. Using this size cutter, I find I can get about a dozen rounds, sometimes 13, before needing to re-roll the dough from scraps. Once re-rolled, you should get about a half dozen more. If you don't want to re-roll it for more tarts, leftover dough can be wrapped and refrigerated, even frozen, until needed again. Now carefully place your cutout dough over the hole and try to push it down evenly. Use whatever you have. I like to use a shot glass that just fits perfectly in these little holes. My challenge is getting it in there evenly. Then it's just a matter of simply filling each casing. The filling is loose enough. You could put this in a pastry bag if you feel that's easier to handle, but I like to just use a spoon. Just try not to overfill it because the filling will puff up during baking and it could spill over a little bit and make things kind of sticky. But it will sink back down on cooling. By the way, this full recipe is enough filling for about 40 mini tarts, or a 9-inch pie, of course. And leftover filling can be refrigerated or even frozen. Now these can be left as is and baked off plain, and then you could, say, add a dollop of whipped cream once it's cooled. But it's also fun before baking to mix up a little brown sugar and chopped pecans to sprinkle on the top, or mini marshmallows. They're also tasty when toasted on the top. Now these will go in the preheated oven for 20 minutes. Yes. Whoops. Those turned out beautifully. I just wanted the crust golden brown, and I think we've got it. I'm going to leave these to cool down in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to try to scoop them out before they get too cool and might get stuck. And after about 10 minutes, using a sharp knife to get around the edge, they come right out. They're still a little soft though, so you want to give them time to cool completely and firm up. And once that's done, we'll try one with a cup of tea. Oh, these all look so good. I'm going to try the one with the marshmallow first. That is so good. Oh gosh, I love that. There's a little bit of orange that comes through, but it's not overwhelming at all. It just complements the sweet potato. And then, of course, in the little pastry casing, it's just nice. And this is the perfect size for afternoon tea. It's that 2-3 bites. If you have a large tart, it becomes a little overwhelming and it can get a little messy. You know, afternoon tea is finger food, and it's great when you can have something this size with this much flavor in it, and it's a real compliment to an autumn tea. Now, what tea would I pair with these? Well, because of the orange in the ingredients, you could easily have Earl Grey, as I have here. That would go very nicely. But if you don't want to double up on those citrus notes, I would probably pick, say, an English breakfast. I think an herbal tea, depending on what it is, could clash with the flavors, but if you have something like, say, an apple cinnamon, well, that could complement, adding to the fall flavors. I hope you'll give these wonderful little sweet potato bites a try. They are so delicious, and it adds a little something different for the holidays. If you liked this video, please give it a like by hitting that thumbs up button, and if you see the hype button, hit that too. It helps promote the channel. And consider subscribing for more afternoon tea videos. Until next time, bye-bye.